So here we are 48 hours before we leave the country. Excuse me. Pardon. Just kidding. Can you guys hint where we're going now? Just kidding. Pardon. Ça va?
No, ça va.
That's not she. You're
No,
gonna
ça
hear
va.
a lot of that, baby. Get ready.
Anytime I hear him,
that's
I'm
not
gonna smack them in.
لو سمحت مسيو.
Backhand.
مسيو ايدك على وجه مسيو.
Babe, why are we doing this? I thought the reveal already happened.
Hey babe, it's for the trailer. Just keep going, keep going. So the wedding planning process has officially begun, and the first step in the planning process is to travel all the way across the world to search for venues and try to find my dream wedding dress. Hopefully. I'm currently waiting to board to Lebanon. Finally, you guys, as you know, I have been stressing about this for the past couple months, and honestly, from here on out, I'm just gonna try to enjoy the process as much as I can. You have no idea what's waiting for you, honey. The next couple months will not be enjoyable. That's for sure. I'll be gone for about 2.5 weeks, and I'm hoping to book the venue and find the wedding dress for my first look. If I get those two things done, I will be so relieved and so much less stressed, because we're trying to have the wedding 9 months from now. And you know, they say you have to start planning a year ahead. It's true. Like, at least the venue needs to be booked by now. So hopefully that gets figured out and I'll stop stressing. I'm so happy Hassan is coming, because he almost didn't come. He literally booked his flight a day and a half ago. It was such a last minute thing. He's gonna meet me in Lebanon in the next couple days. So he just makes things so much easier, so much more efficient, and he always finds the smartest, best ways to do things. I feel like I'm more indecisive. He's gonna help me out a lot in making decisions. His dad is coming as well, so it's gonna be a good time, and I have my mama with me, so I'm super excited, and I will bring you guys along. We are going wedding venue shopping, scouting, browsing today. I'm excited, anxious. I mean, I already have a venue that I like the most and I'm pretty set on, but you never know. We're gonna see 3 or 4 venues today, and I thought I would take you guys along. Hassan is super jet lagged. He just got here really late last night. We're with my mama and his dad. So I have actually always wanted an indoor wedding, but Lebanese weddings are known for their outdoor venues. So I have been contemplating it, especially because outdoor fireworks during Lebanese weddings are out of this world. But I do have to consider the weather conditions over the summer in Lebanon, because it is so hot and humid over the summer. And I'm not trying to sweat my hair and makeup off and feel super icky during during my wedding day. I could always have it high up in the mountains where it's a little cooler. So I'm just exploring my options right now and trying to see what I like best. I definitely want a themed wedding, and if it is indoors, I want very, very high ceilings.
This is why we need to have an outdoor wedding. We were actually recently at an iftar dinner during Ramadan, and there were people asking us like, oh, you're actually having your wedding in Lebanon. Outdoor weddings are awesome. Like the fireworks are crazy there. And Deanna's answer was, well, we're actually having an indoor wedding. And everyone just like looked at each other like, what? You're going all the way to Lebanon to have an indoor wedding. Wow, what a great idea. So if you're gonna have a Lebanese wedding, you have to have fireworks. And to have fireworks, you have to have an outdoor wedding. So
you can have fireworks indoors.
If we're gonna travel across the world, Lebanon is known for its like super nice outdoor weddings, and if you're gonna have an indoor wedding, you might as well have it here in the U.S. Like anywhere, any country you go to has like an indoor open space that you can like put decor in.
No,
but it's
like
just
Lebanon, honey.
It's just not the same as having it outdoors. Like outdoor in Lebanon, you're unlimited. Like you have an unlimited roof above you, whereas if you're indoor, like you're limited, your space is limited. You never want to be limited in life.
You're also not
so
sweating
that's why we're gonna have it outdoors.
No, we're not.
Sold. We're done.
So we were in Lebanon for a little over 2 weeks. The first week we focused on visiting a handful of venues. Most of them were actually outdoors and they were so grand and so beautiful. Now, a few things we are considering when picking our venue other than the budget is the capacity. So Lebanese weddings tend to have 500 to even up to 1,000 people at their weddings. And although we are originally from Lebanon and do have a lot of family in Lebanon, a good amount of our friends and family in the States will not be able to make the trip all the way to Lebanon. So technically it is considered a destination wedding. Because of that, we're probably maybe only going to have 200 people at our wedding. So that already crosses out a lot of those venue options because the guests would literally drown in there and it would just look like there's literally no one at the wedding if the capacity is 1,000.
Yeah.
We are practicing for entrance.
Nothing.
Okay, these are the flowers.
Do I grab the flowers?
Okay, you get up. My dad?
Yeah, I know. I kiss
Yeah.
them and then I
And
take
then
the
my
flowers and I throw them over there.
No, I
And
hold
we
the
walk
flowers and we wave.
out. No, I throw the flowers.
So I've actually had my mind set on this indoor venue even before I arrived to Lebanon. I saw this venue online and was just so obsessed with it. That was actually the very last venue we visited. And when I saw it in person, you guys, I fell in love. It was everything I wanted. Really high ceilings, 2 floors. They can literally light up fireworks from both floors, from the second floor to the first floor. I didn't have to worry about weather conditions or sweating my hair and makeup off. Like everything about it was perfect. It was exactly how it looked online. But there's just one problem. Hassan and my father-in-law are very, very set on an outdoor venue, and we just haven't been seeing eye to eye with making a decision in which venue we want to have our wedding in. We've been looking at wedding venues all day, so that's why we're so exhausted. Like literally driving like an hour per venue each. We are so tired and so jet lagged, but it's Hassan's only weekend here.
It's my birthday.
It's not your birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's his only weekend in Lebanon. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna go out tonight. So I got food poisoning last night. I've never gotten food poisoning before, but I literally don't know what I ate that caused it. I'm still trying to figure out if it's food or water, but I'm only drinking bottled water here, so I really don't know what caused it. TMI, but other than spending the whole night in the toilet, I also threw up 3 different times. Like I literally threw up everything I ate, and then even when I would drink water, I would throw that back up. I really hope I feel better soon because Hassan leaves after tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to rest for a couple hours and see how I feel in the afternoon. And if I feel better, maybe we will do something.
Food in Lebanon. That's a tricky one. I've actually never ever gotten food poisoning in my life. And I don't even know what I got food poisoning from. I don't know if it was the veggies, the ice cream, the meat. No idea. But I am now very paranoid about getting sick before my wedding. Like, what in the hell am I supposed to eat? Because you can get poisoned from the veggies, you can get poisoned from the ice cream, you can get poisoned from the meat. And I really, really hope I don't get food poisoning before the wedding, because that would just be the cherry on top. Okay, I forced myself to get up. I have body aches and a fever and a headache, which is lovely. So I need to take Tylenol. But in order for me to take Tylenol, I need to put something in my system. So I'm gonna have a banana. Ew, what the hell? I'm glad we finished wedding venue shopping. But I gotta shop for dresses. We're here for like 7 or 8 more days.
هلا عم بتصور انت عم تاكلي الموزة
قلت له انا عندي food poisoning.
هلا العالم عم تحضر انت عم تاكلي موزة ماما. انه اخر هم العالم ما عندها شغل غير انه تشوفك عم تاكلي الموزة يعني. بتضحكي.
She's saying, do people really need to watch you eating a banana? Is it that important? Mom, it's called vlogging.
Vlogging.
Get it right.
هلا بيقولوا لك كيلو ولا 60 عمرك ما تاكل.
So Hassan and my father-in-law have really been trying to convince me and push me towards the outdoor venue.
It's actually very important to know the owner of these venues because they can screw you over, especially overseas. Like, you cannot trust certain people. And we know these guys, they're family friends. And it's always better to just like support your family and friends.
They're saying that I can literally build the entire venue from scratch and I can do whatever I want in this outdoor venue. So I was like, you know what? Let me just meet with the vendors, talk about what I want to do, because in order for me to have it in that venue, I really will need to completely build everything from scratch. Versus the indoor venue, 70% of it is literally already exactly how I want it. I just need to add the characters and the final touches and just make it obviously themed. So what does that mean? That means budget-wise, the indoor venue is going to be a lot more affordable because it needs a lot less work. But Hassan and my father-in-law seem to think otherwise. So let's see. So by the time we met with the vendors for the outdoor venue, Hassan had already traveled back to the States because he kind of has a business to run. He couldn't just take any more days off. So it was me and my father-in-law meeting up with these vendors. We literally sat for 8 hours straight, you guys, planning the entire wedding. I was so drained and my brain was fried, but I really needed to figure out the budget for this before I traveled back to the States. At this point, venues were already getting booked up and I was starting to freak out a little bit. I so badly wanted our wedding to be on July 7th because Hassan entered my life on July 7th and we're both getting married at 27. And the number 7 is a lucky number for us. But at this point, since there was so much back and forth and we couldn't agree on a venue, both the indoor and outdoor venues were completely booked up for July 7th. And I was pretty upset about it. And here's the cherry on top. After all this back and forth and hassle and us meeting with vendors and pretty much planning the entire wedding, they ended up quoting us triple the price of the indoor venue. Have I not been saying this? Have I not been saying this?
I was actually pretty surprised when like the quote came in for the outdoor venue. It was like triple the price of what the price was for the indoor venue. So when you're having your wedding overseas, I think it's super important to get prices from different people just to make sure you're getting like the best price possible.
Yeah, well, the numbers don't lie, honey, and they quoted us triple the price.
Well, no, actually, my dad met with the guy when we were gone. When I came back to the US, he met with the venue owner, and he priced it at the same price or maybe even a little less than the indoor one. And I told you this.
No.
You don't want to like admit it.
No, immediately no. So at this point, I am pretty irritated with Hassan. I feel like I'm usually the indecisive one, and he has just been so indecisive with all this wedding planning stuff, and we're running out of time. And after all this hassle, you would think that we would just finally put the deposit in for that indoor venue I've been wanting, but no. No. Hassan wants my father-in-law to keep shopping around and looking at venues in case we find some like hidden treasure. You know what I mean? At this point, I don't even have time to worry about venues anymore. I leave Lebanon in a few days and I still have not even started shopping for my wedding dress. Now, Lebanon has some of the best designers and best wedding dresses in the world. I feel like no matter how much I search in the States, it's really hard to find the type of beading I want for my wedding dress. And I definitely want that extra ball gown style for my wedding dress. And I probably will do a second look that's more comfortable to change into later on in the night. Now, the thing is, I thought I was already super behind with coming to Lebanon 9 months before the wedding to plan everything. And the venues were already getting booked up. But when it came to the wedding dresses, I was actually too early. A lot of designers were telling me their collections don't drop till after the new year. Some were telling me I can literally shop for my dress a month before the wedding, but just the thought of that gives me so much anxiety. But the issue I was running into now is there were very limited options for me because the new collections weren't dropping till after the new year. And I went to so many different designers. So I went to over 13 different designers and just could not find the dress I was looking for. You know how they say when you find your wedding dress, you just know? I was not getting that feeling with any of the dresses I tried on. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these dresses were so beautiful. But since I went to so many designers and still couldn't find the dress I wanted, I ended up deciding to explore outside of Beirut. And although some of those dresses were nice, there were some not so nice ones. Like, what in the 1750s is this? They literally tried playing wedding music to try and make me like the dress more. No, immediately no. I felt really bad, so I was just smiling and pretending like I loved the dress. But yeah, in my head, I'm like, what in the hell is this? So after a week of shopping and going to over 15 designers, it's now the day before I have to head back to the States, and I'm honestly starting to freak out a little bit because I cannot come back to Lebanon till a few weeks before the wedding and I have no dress. I decided to go to one last designer before my flight back, and you guys, when I tell you, I didn't even have to show him inspo. He just looked at me and automatically knew what dress I wanted. When I tried on that dress, I'm literally getting goosebumps, but I was so in love and I just got that feeling like this is the dress. They opened those curtains for the reveal and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just in awe. So I'm obviously not gonna show you the dress until the wedding, but this dress is going to be semi-custom made, and I did try on a couple other dresses from this designer just to make sure. And although those dresses were absolutely beautiful and made my decision even harder, that first dress I tried on was just my true love. I was so obsessed with it, and I am so relieved that I at least found a wedding dress literally the day before I have to head back to the States. That was so stressful, but we got it done. We do have to still secure a venue, so now it's time to fly back to the States and discuss the details with Hassan because he is set on the outdoor venue and I want the indoor one. So we're back from Lebanon. The venue is still not booked because Hassan and my father-in-law want to explore some more. My sisters are actually giving me second thoughts about my dress, even though I fell in love with it. But I can't help and not overthink it now. I'm trying to get in contact with the designer to see if I can still change my mind about the dress, even though I already paid the deposit. And at this rate, I'm like, what was even the point of going all the way across the world to Lebanon, because nothing has been accomplished. And to top it all off, I spent over a month and a half talking to 30 different wedding planners and going back and forth and trying to work with the time zone and relaying all this information to Hassan. And now he wants to tell me, oh, you know what? We don't even need a wedding planner for the wedding. I honestly feel like I'm so behind on wedding planning because all the brides-to-be that got engaged around the same time I did already have their venue booked, already have their wedding planned, and I haven't planned shit. Like, I've talked to maybe like 3 wedding planners, but we honestly don't know if we want to have the wedding in Lebanon, in Michigan, in California. Like, we don't know where we want to do it just yet. I've known the theme I wanted for my wedding for a while, like even before the proposal. So I have all these little details planned. I'm honestly more focused on finding a really good wedding planner than a really good venue, because I literally want the wedding planner to completely transform the venue anyways. I am about to jump on a call with a wedding planner. I've spoken to maybe 25 wedding planners so far. All of them are in Lebanon. I still haven't started with wedding planners in the States, but it's honestly already tedious because it's getting so repetitive and I'm hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And I haven't been able to decide who I want to go with just yet. So I'm just doing my research, and picking a wedding planner is very important to me. That's why it's taking me so long to do. I've been contacting wedding planners for maybe the past 3 weeks now. The good thing is I'm getting new information from each planner, you know, new suggestions on venues. Fun fact, weddings in Lebanon are actually not as cheap as people think. As of right now, I personally really want to do my wedding in Lebanon because you just can't beat Lebanese weddings. Like, I feel like no matter how much I try to do in the States, it's not gonna be like the weddings in Lebanon. Their production is just different. Their fireworks, their lighting, just everything, their entertainment. But the fiance has been leaning more towards California just because it is going to be such a hassle to fly everyone out from California to Lebanon, and it's such a long distance, and it's obviously a lot of our friends wouldn't be able to make the trip there. So just things to keep in mind. The venue itself, as long as it has high ceilings, it's not going to matter because since I want to have a themed wedding, I want it to be completely transformed anyways. Also, the time difference in Lebanon has made it really hard to like schedule calls with all these planners. That's another tedious thing because, for example, it's 11 a.m. here, but it's now 9 p.m. in Lebanon. So that's also been a struggle, like trying to find the right time. For the past 4 months, ever since I started thinking about the wedding and planning for the wedding, not one thing has been accomplished. I feel like every solution I try to give Hassan, he just disregards it and just can't make a decision. I cannot plan this whole wedding on my own. Like, I need a planner. I need someone to coordinate, to facilitate the wedding. I'm halfway across the world. I have a lot on my plate. And I feel like Hassan just isn't trusting any of these planners, no matter how many I talk to. He doesn't want to commit to anyone. We're running out of time. The venues are almost completely booked up for July. I feel like he's not taking this wedding planning seriously whatsoever, and I'm just very, very frustrated. It's like all these little things have been building up. He can't make his mind up on a venue. He made me change the engagement party date multiple different times. He doesn't even want to book a wedding planner, even though I wasted literally a month and a half of my life talking to so many different people. And I hate wasting my time. So I'm very, very just frustrated and fed up at this point. I just woke up, clearly, in a horrible mood, clearly. Me and Hassan were texting about the wedding planner thing and I got really pissed about it again. So he called me
And I'm trying to calm down before I call him back. Because I literally feel like I'm gonna blow up.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Are you crying?
You called?
Yeah, what are you crying about?
Baby, I don't want to go to Lebanon, honestly, at this point. It's gonna waste my time even more.
Dude, why'd you wake up like this? What's wrong?
Because I woke up and I was looking at the venue and I can't find shit. Like, I don't know how you think we can do this without a planner. I really don't.
You're making this wedding stuff. You're taking it out of control.
You realize by this
you're
point,
taking it out of control.
I'm not taking it out of control because we're so behind. And you think like a month before we can plan the whole wedding. We can't.
You're freaking out on something that we're in the process of doing it.
We're not in the process though. We haven't gotten shit done.
If we need a planner, we'll get one.
We need a planner to completely transform the venue. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I hear you. Trust me, I hear you. But you have to understand that you have to take it step by step. You're trying to jump forward where you're trying to hire a planner. We don't know who the hell they are. The proposal was okay. It was great. Why do you think it was good? Because I planned it. It will not come out good if you continue doing this. I promise you that. If you continue doing this, I'm done. I'm serious. I want to have a nice wedding too. You're not going to let that happen if you continue worrying and giving me shit for it. I have more important stuff than you do too. We have a life to live, a family to grow. We're not basing our life based off of one day. It will not come out nice if you keep on worrying about it.
I'm just saying, I've been waiting for 4 months and we haven't moved one step forward. Everyone already booked their venue. The date we wanted is already taken. The wedding is the wedding that we're supposed to have is in a few months. We haven't planned shit.
If we want to have it in June, that's totally fine too. It doesn't matter. We'll figure out the date.
They meet with the planner directs them to simple. They make it so simple. The planner draws out a 3D of how their venue's gonna look. They recommend all the vendors. They go themselves to meet with each vendor, and that's it. That's literally it. With us, it's like you don't want a planner. You want to do it the hard way, where I'm freaking out and trying to facilitate everything halfway across the world. Like you're putting so much pressure on me just because you're against having a planner. You think they're not gonna do anything when they're facilitating and holding everything together.
Okay, what do you want to do then? How do you want to do it your way?
So a few of Hassan and his family's friends and venue owners they know in Lebanon told us that all these planners pocket a bunch of commission. Like they act like they're only taking a certain amount of money for their work, but secretly they're pocketing and adding on a bunch of fees to every single vendor and just pocketing that money for themselves. So that stuck with Hassan. And after that, he just couldn't trust any planners. He was against having a planner.
What the smart thing to do so they don't scam us and pocket a bunch of commission, like you've been saying, we find a planner who a good planner who actually, like, I'm not gonna pick a planner who I haven't seen do work similar to what we want. We pick a good planner and see if we can just use them for their planning services. They can recommend vendors to us.
This week, we're gonna continue searching to try to find the vendors that we want to use. The planner, if we let the planner figure this out, they're gonna charge a bunch of money and they're gonna make the commission off of it.
It's like the wedding is technically supposed to be about the bride, and nothing I want regarding the wedding is happening. Not the venue I want, not the budget I want, not even a planner that I need. Honestly, at this point, I'm just feeling very lost, and I feel like I've always heard about wedding planning being stressful, but I just feel like no one is guiding me. No one is like telling me what to do, especially because my wedding is in Lebanon. Like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what I'm doing. All I see is other brides to be that got engaged around the same time I did, already booked their venue, already are in the process of planning their wedding, even the ones that are having their wedding in Lebanon. And it's just like, I feel so behind. On the next episode of Mystery Bay to Mrs. Bayz.
All of a sudden last night, all the ideas just came to me. It was just flowing up here. And I was like, I need to come here. I need to envision this. I need to record this. I need to measure this. So here we are.
We had to reschedule the engagement party multiple different times, and then we thought, you know what? Let's just not have an engagement party.
I think I was right about 100% of it.
Unfortunately, things just kept getting worse.
Another day, another mental breakdown.
This has honestly been such a nightmare. Nothing about the wedding planning process has been enjoyable so far. Honestly got to the point where it started affecting my health.
My dad is calling me, my sisters are calling me, they're like, it's urgent. My grandpa's in the hospital and they tell me he's passing away.